Last night was a stressful night, and so was this morning. Let me tell you the story about my pig in the garden. There are a lot of new viewers to the channel recently, so some of you guys may not know that I'm in a band. Last night was band practice night, and I was coming home late. It was almost midnight when I got home. As I was driving my truck up to my house to park it, my headlights shined on the garden area that was directly in front of where I parked my truck. Much to my surprise, there was a pink pig in my garden. I just got home late from band practice. It's almost midnight, and the headlights illuminated this pig in my garden. This gate was wide open, so I got it shut when I noticed that she was in here. I'm really sad because I can't get her back. It's a long way where her paddock is. Hopefully her brother's still in there. It's a long way. I can't get her back there tonight, especially by myself in the pitch black, and which means she's gonna be in there with that beautiful kale all night. My blueberry plants, my basil, my squash plants. This is not good. Hey dude, thanks for staying in. Well, he's in there, that's good news. But he's not gonna be happy without sister in there. There she goes, working on that kale plant. Well, working right next to it anyway. My drip irrigation. The other bit of bad news is I cannot find the carabiner that's supposed to go on this. I'm gonna have to see if I can stake it shut with this step-in post here. I used this white step-in post to stake the gate shut on the garden to keep the pig in. I didn't want her to leave and take off, go in the woods, and never get her again. It's one of the big challenges with being by yourself homesteading, especially if something happens late at night. There's no one to help you, and my options were pretty limited at that point. I didn't want to just trust that a tray of feed would entice her out of the garden where she was having a great time, and I'd be able to lure her the 300 plus feet it is back over to her paddock. Once we left the garden, she could have decided that she didn't really want that feed and taken off in any direction. So it was pretty stressful going to bed, leaving her in the garden, knowing that she is out here tearing it up. But I really felt I didn't have any options, and I'd have to address the issue today. I was in a rush this morning. I didn't have my main camera with me. I just had my cell phone on me. I was just trying to feed the animals. When I came out to check on the pig in the garden and see what happened there, I saw this and started rolling with my iPhone. Oh, my stake didn't work. She busted right out. And she is gone. Got a kale plant down here. So sad. The chickens will eat well this morning. Girls. There you go. At least it's not a waste. In the limited time I had, I looked all around for her. I went back to where the other pig is to see if she had come back there. She wasn't there. I couldn't find her, but I could tell where she had been because she left some clues behind. For example, she just started randomly rooting over here, not too far out from where the garden is, and over here. I still have to do my chores, so I came in to get the pig feed to feed the other pig and found both of my buckets were knocked over where I keep my pig feed that's soaking for fermentation, and all this pig feed knocked on the ground over here and back there. But I got my feed tray and started filling it with the pig food. The sound of the feed going into the pan and just the buckets rattling and all that caused the pink pig to come running out of I don't know where. All of a sudden she just came running up the driveway here, oinking and coming right at me because she knew that I had the food. I just continued to fill the feed pan here as she was running up on me. She was really excited to come see the feed, but instead of letting her dig in right here, I picked up the pan quickly right before she got here and took off running with it, and she chased after me. I threw the feed pan in there, only she wasn't in there, of course. She was on the outside, only he was in there. He started eating. She wanted in badly. I turned the fence off, lifted it up, and she went right under and has been in there since. What a stinker. I'm really glad she went back in. And I'm really glad she didn't decide to leave. I had my main gate open at the time, and look how close they are to that. She could have just went out the main gate and been gone. So this side of the fence right here had been completely pushed over. Kind of like how this one is, except it went the other way. What they do is they root so much soil and it buries the fence. They pile the soil on top of the fence until it starts pushing over. This one right here, they've kind of pushed it and it's gone low instead of up and high, so it's kind of coming in the other way. But you can kind of see it right here actually. It's kind of bulging, and they'll just keep pushing it and pushing it until it's pushed out and collapsed. I don't believe it's their intention. They're not trying to defeat the fence by doing that. If they wanted to do that, they could certainly do that an easier way, I'm sure. They're just so focused on the rooting and pushing that soil that over time, over the course of the week, it just happens. I've been moving them weekly, but the problem is the pigs are so big now and they turn the soil over and root everything up and push the soil into the fence so quickly now as opposed to when they were smaller in the weeks past. They got a full week out of the paddock. Really, we're at the point where they need to be moving at least twice a week, maybe even 3 times a week if I'm going to still be using this system. You're a stinker. Yep. Stinker. You're a good boy. Hey, back off. Too much. I really don't know why he didn't leave, because again, the whole fence was down. She left. He could have just followed after her, but as you saw from the video, he just hung out. He didn't go anywhere. I'm grateful for that. In my haste this morning, I didn't really get a good look at the garden. I didn't get to see the full level of devastation, so I'm gonna go check it out now. Yowzer. In the garden here, there are a lot of weeds behind me, but I've been using that for chicken feed, so it's actually worked out pretty well with those weeds, but this is sad. Oh, another squash victim here. Oh, it's my tomatillo. This poor squash here. Looks like she went through here too. Ah, oh, there's some remnants. I see my blueberries here. She didn't root up the blueberry completely, but she did trample it pretty good. It's completely over. Something funny about the garden is I have all this barley growing in here, as well as field peas shooting up everywhere, and that's from when the pigs were in here tilling the garden initially in the spring. Their pig feed is peas and barley. I don't think I can get it all in one shot here. You can't quite see everything, but it's really amazing how much damage one pig can do in just a few hours.